One time I was sharing with you, Barbara, that there is a football match where a woman had a T-shirt behind her, and on it, it had the inscription "Nairobi onge chuor ng'ato," which loosely translates to
Nairobi hakuna bwana ya mtu.
So that's the conversation today. We want to talk about everything sex and the city. Sex and the city. And I'm so delighted to introduce to us KARIGOH. KARIGOH, karibu sana.
Asante.
Thank you so much. Look at you. You beat traffic. Nini got here on time.
By the way, there's no traffic.
Wasn't there?
Glowing, you're glittering. I think you have this shimmer lines I
There's
like.
no January problems for me.
Amen.
This is what soft life is about.
I want to have
God.
that.
This is how it looks.
If you
Telling you.
KARIGOH is a host on Unprovoked, which is a podcast. She does a phenomenal work in there. KARIGOH, I was listening to your podcast a couple of days and weeks. Actually, I got introduced to you by one of my colleagues and the Spice programs controller. And he shared a link of your amazing work. A couple of
Thank
months
you.
ago, I think now a year almost.
Oh, wow.
And
Actually,
yeah,
over
a
a
year
year ago.
almost. And I've been looking at your work and
Thank
just,
you.
enjoying and simmering in all the conversation. Something really interesting struck me. I heard you had your girls over. They were in between the ages of 20 to 40. And you guys were talking about sizes
Yes.
and whether or not sizes matter.
Yes.
Before we get to that,
Wow.
in this city, because you've lived here for a while, all right, and you'll tell us about Unprovoked, who wants sex more in your assessment? Is it men more or women more?
Women.
Why is that?
Because we have moved into a generation where we have the internet, we have books, we have technology, there's information,
Yeah.
and if you want something, you go for it. Women want sex more. It's just the men who are behaving sijui how.
What do you mean behaving sijui how? Is it that they're not getting the cues or they're not performing as required?
There is both of them on both degrees. However, it's a competition of who will have the most body count.
All right. Is
And
it?
it's not actually the intimacy, the satisfaction, the what you enjoy that comes with sex. It's a competition.
For
the
both
who?
for
For
both
the guys.
genders,
Oh,
or
yeah.
for the guys.
So the women
the guys
want
are the
the
ones
sex.
competing.
The women want the sex.
Yeah.
But the guys, it's like they're receiving it as a competition. Like, it shouldn't be a woman who wants more sex. It should be a guy.
Yeah.
But who said?
Yeah.
Where is it written? That's it.
It's very interesting when I think about sex in especially a lot of urban settlements. So the woman would want sex, as you say.
The woman does.
Or
want
does
sex.
want sex.
We are not trying
but
to establish.
okay,
We're
fine.
already
The woman
established.
wants sex.
Yes.
But now it takes her to have it with somebody. There's a big conversation around the shooting your shot gang. All right. So then I'm a woman. I'm agreeing with KARIGOH that I want more sex. But every time I try to hint by sending cues or even asking a guy where is it, there's a lot of judgmentalness in terms of, you are too forward, or how does a woman go around getting it more? Because society is set up, especially in most cases, until the guy has to hit on you. So what happens to this woman who wants more and the guy is not picking up the cue but wants more? How does she go around it?
Okay. Without using many explanations, kama wewe,
Yeah.
I'm a woman.
Yeah.
I enjoy sex just like any other woman. And if I want to have sex with a man, I have to be intentional with the man that I want to have sex with.
What does intentional look like?
Because some people are shy.
Intention is, what do I want? What do I want to achieve?
Yeah.
What sexual pleasure do I want to accomplish? And if there are options, amongst the options, which one will actually be the one to fit that position? And you go for it. If you're shy, you can't be shy and you say you want sex. You can't be shy and you say you want it more. You can't be shy and say you have a desire but you're not willing to action it. Does that make sense?
So options is options.
So you have to be, for a woman who wants to accomplish the pleasure,
Yeah.
she has to be intentional. Figure out what you want, what you want to accomplish, establish the options, and go for it. And
So-
do not be limited by one option.
Oh yeah, that's what I
Or
wanted to
two
ask.
or three.
If you're looking for the right option, meaning you have to like do maybe a couple of guys and then
I mean,
choose
that's
the
your
best
choice.
among the
That's your choice.
5.
That's your choice as a woman
Yeah.
or as a man. However, it would be unfair for you to only have one option, wouldn't it? No. I mean, think about it. When we wake up in the morning, we have options of what to have for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner. And there's what we crave.
Yeah.
There's what we wake up thinking, oh my gosh, this is what I want to have. But do we always get what we want to have? No. But there are options.
Could you say that this quote unquote options that are there for both men and women and the choices as we have as is what has led to us being in one big bedroom? Because I am coming from
Yes.
I'm coming from a place where in the last 10 to 15 years, as much as they were option, if I was in an institution of marriage or an institution of a relationship, I was supposed to be, my option was, for example, Eric. I did not have the option. You see, the way you're saying, they are option and you have everything on you. I did not have that particular choice. But I feel with the conversation, the way it is going, well, I am married to Eric or I'm dating Eric. If Emmanuel is an option, then it means I am taking up Emmanuel, Brian, and Eric. Is that what is happening? And that's why we have this one bedroom fiasco.
Yeah, because people get into the institution of marriage for reasons best known to them. And then they reach a point where they're like, oh my gosh, what did I do? But now I can't leave. So now they go for option B, C, D. But they don't leave option A. And that's why we're in one big bedroom as a city. Like, honestly, I mean, who are we kidding? Those are the facts. The only people who are not in one big bedroom are single people like me.
But do you think Eric and KARIGOH too and Barbara that these people are happy? Because like knowing a human being, whether I try 5 options or 10 options, there's still, unsatisfaction. Like even if I find the best sexual experience, today in say KARIGOH, right? I've met her, then I'm like, KARIGOH was awesome. After a couple of days, you're like, yes, she was awesome, the juicy, but now I'm still desiring another one. So that should explain, just settling, you're like, and yeah, there's always, a higher height, as a human being, there's always a higher level that you're seeking out. But, discipline now comes in and say, since I'm with KARIGOH and she was awesome, I'll just settle with her. And since I don't know about these other options, I haven't experienced them, mimi nitakaa tu na huyu mtu mmoja, because you'll never ever be happy.
Happiness is a choice, though. If we talk about happiness, we can simply just say happiness is a choice. Our happiness is not bound by our sexual experiences with person A or person B. It's specific.
Yeah.
That's why I keep going back to intention. What is your intention? What do you want to achieve?
Yeah.
If you choose to settle, then be disciplined with settling. But don't be selfish and now begin to create an avenue where now it's a competition. And that's why I keep going back to saying men, it's like they compete with women. But they're not saying it, but they're showing it.
Yeah.
So you walk into a club and it's just, it's bizarre. You're looking at the playing field on the floor and you're like, but I thought this person is married.
Yeah.
Or, but see, these guys are married. It's one big bedroom.
KARIGOH, the men often say, at least from bar talks I've been privy to, there's a perception, which I am now believing is a false one, that that a woman has got to love you to really, get to have sex with you. So a man is thinking in his mind that
I'm sorry, say that again.
a woman has to love you. Hata msichana kama kupendi. In fact, there's a thread I was talking about before you came in. This guy was lamenting about his girlfriend who cheated on him. All right. And she was an hotelier, good woman. And in the thread, he says that these women were saying, I couldn't even get excited down there for anybody else because I'm with you. You are the only one who makes my tears downstairs to come out. Unajua? So there's a lot of men who believe that, if I am dating KARIGOH, there is no way under planet Earth, unless she loves Emmanuel, can she have sex with Emmanuel. So what are I'm asking all of that to say, KARIGOH, what is the one thing or many things, in your opinion, men have no clue about when it comes to sex as it pertains women? I want us to have that conversation.
Oh my God.
I want us to
Where
have
will
that.
we begin and end?
Hold that.
Hold that for the whole year.
Hold that thought. But I think because a lot of us are misguided, we believe as men that huyu msichana vada figured out, but we know nothing. Really, we don't. We are hanging out with KARIGOH. She's a host of Unprovoked, a podcast that does phenomenally well. You want to check her out. And remember, you can catch this show live on www.spicefm.co.ke. She graced us with her presence. The conversation just began, and she's taking a sip of water. I swear to you, it's going to be worth your while. Collide Tiana Major 9, which is the note she sings in. Major 9, I love that story. I keep repeating it. Major 9 is the note Tiana sings in, together with Earth Gang. Collide is the name of the ballad. Enjoy. We'll be back in a jiffy. I am in the studio with Emmanuel Kisiangani Barbara Mbaka, and also known as the Duchess of Ikolomani. And we're joined by a guest in KARIGOH. And KARIGOH is our host. She hosts a podcast called Unprovoked. So what she decided to do today is to just pay us a visit and have a conversation with us about, the situation in this city of ours, Nairobi, as it pertains to sex, and just to learn together. We have two women in the studio. Oftentimes, men speak a lot and they know everything. So sometimes we just listen to the women and try and figure out where is it we are missing the mark, because truly there seem to be a challenge, at least going by the phone calls and the conversation we've been having here. Before the break, I was asking KARIGOH, what is the one thing, in your opinion, men have no clue about when it comes to women during sex? Because I think there's a lot that we have no clue about, especially as it pertains to Nairobi.
Okay. One thing that men do not know, in my opinion, is that women genuinely enjoy being taken care of during the whole process of sex. It's not for hit and run. Yeah. That hit and run story, there's no woman who likes it. None whatsoever. They may accommodate it.
Yeah.
They may tolerate it.
Yeah.
We sincerely don't like it.
What do you mean by
that's
taking care of?
Yeah.
Just when I say hit and run, it means you're not taking care of me during the process.
What does that look like if I am
You're
a man and I'm
selfish.
listening
Just
to you?
that.
What is taking care of? Would
Taking
you?
care of
Yeah.
is making sure, understanding that my body needs some time.
All right.
Because for men, it's totally completely different.
Yeah.
For women, we have, a woman's body is just so amazing.
So we are discussing foreplay now, right?
Everything, even during penetration, it can't just be hit and run. Period. Take your time.
Yeah.
Listen to her. Pay attention.
What if she's not talking? She's a mute.
I'm telling you, she does not have to say anything for you to know.
Aye.
And if she's mute, there's something wrong.
See, she has to tell me,
Emmanuel,
Eric,
and
what I
then
know.
they're taking care of.
We are in the dark and she's mute. So how will I know and
Why
she's
are you
not?
in the dark?
See, because she prefers the lights off, which is something we'll talk about.
Eric,
But you see the corridor, there's also ambient light through the corridor lights.
part of taking care of a woman where many people fail, it is emotionally
Yes.
and physically.
Yes.
The emotional part starts before. Like, for example, let me give you an example. Maybe you and I and Eric and I are having a thing, and you want to get some tomorrow or tonight. How about you drop a text from in the morning? How about you send something? Surprise me, you plan to come to my house. Send me some money. But then sending money is very attractive to buy and prepare the place. I'm feeling like I am in your mind, I'm in your thoughts.
Yeah.
Yes. The idea, then when you come home or when you reach the destination, foreplay. And it doesn't mean like it's immediate. The problem we have, that's why she's talking about that women accommodate it, tolerate it. It's like, because you are my boyfriend, I know you're my boyfriend, and you expect your quote unquote rights over the weekend. You come from God knows where you've been in traffic, come and hit it, bang it, pretend, have a drink with me or have something to eat, then bust and leave to God knows where to hang with your kids.
And
with
by
your
the
girls.
way, another thing that has been accommodated by that hit and run story is that whole aspect of Nairobi is one big bedroom.
Yes.
So the women also accommodate it for it to be one big bedroom, because when Mr. has said he's gone for a small meeting on Sunday,
Yeah.
and it's the Sunday after Christmas,
You already know in your heart.
so he will go for a meeting, and that meeting will not be more than 3 hours.
Yeah.
So he'll probably leave the house at like maybe 9 or 10 in the morning, right? It's
Yeah.
Sunday.
Yeah.
And he'll make sure he's back by 1. So he's been accommodated somewhere and tolerated for hit and run.
Because another woman has given him a chance
That's
to do that.
it.
So
That's
we are also
it.
failing as women.
That's it.
No, maybe also, Eric, I was thinking about this while you were talking about taking care of me. Maybe this guy, he's at home with the missus, sindio? But now he has a side piece somewhere.
Yes.
But now he sends that side piece a message and said, hey, by the way, I'm meeting you at 10. I can't wait to see you in that thing that you wear. See, now those are the texts that Barbara is talking about. And then he goes, sometimes they don't even meet directly at the venue. They go for a drink. That's still taking care of, the lady. And then now is when they go to
That's a
the
lazy
room.
love, Emmanuel.
Then they go to, but that's what you're demanding just now. But now I'm
yes.
saying we do this for people out there instead of doing it at home.
Yes, after
Like
you
we don't
finish
do
that.
this for your missus. You're doing it for, you're going through that whole process with someone out there. That's why all these lodges are full of cars on Sundays, like you're saying, because they are doing these things. But now with someone else.
Not only on Sundays.
Monday to Monday.
By the way, Sundays even ata azinanga watu. Monday to Fridays. Weekdays. Hey, you guys. Those guys are making a killing.
So, KARIGOH,
Completely full.
the first thing a woman in your assessment, especially in this city, appreciates a man who takes care of her and is not in a hurry, even during the process.
Women don't
And
like
after.
hit and run, period.
And even after.
Yeah.
You see, Manuel, the person you're saying, he'll send messages, he's waiting for me, then he'll do the do. And after doing the do
He
at
bounces.
12, he bounces. Has he taken care of me after that? I want to cuddle. I want to I want to talk to you. I want to share. I want to be vulnerable with you. You're not giving me that space or
Yeah.
that time
Yeah.
because you need to go to KARIGOH.
Yeah.
Back at home
Yeah.
and be the husband and the wife to this particular person. So even women, I feel we are also our own enemies in this. We play a role in making or playing a role in a part in us not being taken care of because we are straining these guys.
I agree.
So you want to cuddle for how long, for example?
You're
Like-
not serious right now.
No, honestly,
How
Eric.
important cuddles are for a woman after, like, honestly.
Okay, before you even get to cuddling, KARIGOH, there is a big conversation that keeps going on and off. But men don't seem to agree about how long a woman wants a man to last. Do you have an idea in your mind before we start cuddling, how long I should last in the other department?
Listen,
These guys are dying in battle. It's been sad the last 2 months.
let me tell you something. In my opinion, duration is
Overrated.
No. Come on. It's
That's in
it's
your challenge,
personal.
man.
It's personal. It's between the both of you. I mean, just like we spoke before the break, we had option A, B, C. And option A, B, C gives you what you want. But option A, B, and C are completely different.
Yeah.
Their durations are never the same. But men should take their time. Kindly.
But no, if we had
I mean, it's
quantified...
not too much to ask.
So if
Is
you
it
had
too much to
quantified...
ask?
They
No, we
can't.
don't know.
No, but it's
So let's make
Why?
it literal. Let's try
Why
and
can't you take your time? Because let me say.
KARIGOH, wait kwanza.
Yeah?
KARIGOH,
It's very
KARIGOH,
unfair.
ngoja kwanza. For specificity's sake, in a measurement, how much time are we looking at? Because saying take your time is very ambiguous.
You know what?
Some
I,
guy
you know
is
what
thinking,
I say?
yes.
This is my opinion.
Yeah.
I feel in my heart of hearts, if you're watching an episode of Modern Family,
Yeah.
it's like 23 minutes long. By the time it's beginning and it's going to the next one, maybe that's when now you should be done without being aware that you've skipped a full episode.
Oh, so 23
So 23 minutes is a good estimate.
I'm not saying that it's a good estimate. I'm just saying it should not be less than, in my opinion.
But now daily or once in a while. Like maybe I give you 23 minutes today. Tomorrow I'll give you
I mean,
a good
if
6.
you're enjoying it and it's, it should be a different experience each time, in my opinion. It should be a different experience each time.
Yeah.
Yes.
It should not always be the same.
Mechanical, right? It shouldn't be
if you
mechanical
began
and
at 10,
predictable.
even in life, see, we grow up. We move from step A to step B. So if you began at 15 minutes, you should be graduating by week 2 to like 20.
When it's an upward trajectory.
But why not?
No, it
Unless
could
you're
be.
not enjoying it.
Here are my thoughts.
Yes.
Time is relative. And it should not be even a question that people should be discussing when in a relationship. That's my thoughts. And I'll say why. Because different people have different chemistries.
Yeah.
And when you have different chemistry, well, let me give an example. I could, with Eric, our foreplay could be longer than our actual intercourse.
Exactly.
And then we take 17 minutes. You get from all that hullabaloo. I could with Emmanuel, and he's more like his foreplay is not all that. And he could give me a foreplay of 5 minutes and give me maybe 7 minutes of thrusting, while the other person will do 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And both people could be satisfying me option A and B.
Exactly.
So for me, I look at it, this issue of us always trying to put a time or how much or how long, it depends with how you're feeling each other. It depends on how you click and what you are doing. If it's all about thrusting, that is when women find it a bit boring. And you will not, even you yourself, the idea of the problem is some of us stick to one particular style. For you to also try and last longer, I feel it's change the rhythm, change the position. That is what gives you more time. If you stick to missionary Kufamende, you will get bored, and after 3-4 minutes, you will not want to proceed. But if we are spicing it up in the relationship, then it gives us more time. So yes, I could do 11, I could do 7, I could do 23 a whole episodes, but depending on you two, it's all about both of you. It has nothing to do with stipulated or hormones or age, an older man, a younger man. I just think it's the chemistry and the flow of the time.
Yeah, even in marriage, sometimes you can chop 1 good minute, and then
Okay, please
the
don't
same,
try that and
the
think
same
that
week.
it's going to work. We are not going to take
No,
that.
for real.
Now you need to pull
the
up your
same
steps.
week you do a serious, long session. So I agree
now
with
1
you,
minute,
Barbara.
59
I'm agreeing.
seconds?
Yes. Yeah, you're using KARIGOH's upward trajectory. So yes, it's varied. One day you do one good one, and then the next time you do better, if at all that's the word to use. So using a timeline would be a bit strange.
Yes.
KARIGOH, still on what you've said, which I find quite fascinating, that one of the things men should understand is that women like being taken care of. A man would turn around and say, okay, fine, I've had KARIGOH and Barbara, and I have even now decided that I'm going to send her some money to come over. We've had endless conversations on this show around men complaining that they've made an investment in monetary form, which was not recompensed in coital form. All right. Is it then
That
wise?
was the expectation.
That's
The
where
team
I'm
affair
going.
team.
That's
my
where I'm
gosh.
going. Is it then wise that if a woman can boldly say that my expectation is that he takes care of me, that a man on the other side can say, I've sent you something. When are you going to perform fellatio?
I mean, what is this thing for spending money on a woman and then automatically what is expected is sex?
Not
I don't get
automatically. You've said just now.
if you want to have sex with a woman, tell her. But if you want to send her money, let it be independent of you wanting to have sex with her. Period. It's just that simple.
If a woman is asking for a favor that is monetary tied, can a man expect that this is them queuing me for a possibility of having sex?
Sorry, say that again.
A woman is asking for money, all right, because this man has heard that she wants to be taken care of. Can a man then turn around and expect that, okay, fine, these would be leading me to hopefully get lucky a couple of weeks or days down the road? Or the man should completely detach himself from sending her money?
No.
Hey?
You
As
should-
in,
No, that's a fair question. We get phone calls here with guys saying, Nimetuma, Alafu, you've also said now that women really value being taken care of.
Yeah, I mean,
and
why
Barbara
the-
has just said that sending money is very attractive. She's a woman. I respect her view. So then, I've sent you money. All right. Can I follow through with the text and say, am I seeing you this Saturday?
No, Eric, I would say, yes, you can ask that question, but are we seeing each other in a bar, in a restaurant, or are you thinking that you sending money is automatic that you will get something?
I'm
And
not
if you
saying I've
think
paid
that-
for sex. I'm
Yes,
saying
but
I've,
that is how it seems.
That is what you've done.
That is what most people think, and it shouldn't be.
Yeah.
That's why she's saying it needs to be independent. It's my choice, it's my prerogative. So send the money. I didn't. I told you I wanted to do my hair, Eric.
Yeah.
So you've sent me 4,000 shillings to do my hair, for example. Then after you've given me 4,000, in the evening you're asking me, Barbara, am I seeing you tomorrow? Are you coming home? Now,
so I shouldn't say that.
No, you
No,
shouldn't
you
say that.
shouldn't.
The best way for you to get some and look a bit decent, say, are we able to have a drink?
You shouldn't
Don't be
even-
so obvious.
You shouldn't even say anything. in my
Because when you
opinion.
start telling me, are we meeting at your place? I already think like, so you paid for my hair so that I
Yeah.
come to sleep with
Yeah.
you. And
But-
that is why
But
we
why?
tend
but
to
what
run
sort of-
away.
Why do
Yeah.
they then ask for the money?
Because I have to do my hair. What's wrong with you?
But
I
who
told you.
gives out money just like that?
There are men who
Like
do.
even
There are
in life,
men who do.
like the
If
principles
you
of
don't-
how life
If you
have
don't,
been.
there are men who do.
No, wait,
who
Barbara.
give men money
Just-
and they don't expect such things
Yes.
in return. And that's
They
why
don't
these
care.
people end up getting more laid than these others.
Oh, okay. So
listen, Eric, if a guy is just walking randomly through this corridor over here,
Come
behind
on,
our
Leo,
studio,
Kemsa.
what are the odds of someone just giving you 100,000 bob
Hiya, it happens.
Emmanuel, today.
on this?
I know I'm not supposed to say
It
this.
happens like a guy. He just
Yes.
gives it and tells you,
Tim-
thank
yes.
you.
Emmanuel.
Unless you're Pewdie, there's a guy called The Beast on YouTube. He walks around giving strangers money. Like that's how he does his YouTube thing.
Emmanuel.
But it's weird, and that is why he has the most followers on YouTube. Because who gives out money just like that? So
Emmanuel.
how do you just receive money? Alafu, you just say thank you, then you go. Like, see, people always have intention even
Emmanuel,
as they're giving you the money.
Today, go to my status. Those who know me, go to my status. Instagram, Facebook. I've written something. Stop asking women. It was a joke. Stop asking women how they slept. And you know it's very hard to sleep when you're broke.
Yes.
I wrote that. So please be asking for their account numbers or their numbers.
Yes.
It's on my status. Do you know what happened to me when I reached here? Someone sent me money. By the thank you, whoever you are. Mwah, mwah. Someone sent me money. For real. And then sent me to my DM and told me, I've sent you. I don't know how they got my number, but they sent me money. That's my
But
fact.
what do you think this guy's
what am I
intention is?
trying to tell you, Emmanuel? While you cannot send money to a stranger or like that, there are men who can.
Yeah.
We need to
Many,
understand that.
very many.
No,
There are
let's just
many.
be
And
honest,
it's
Eric.
not every day, and they
Expectations.
know have Emmanuel. Even the name sijui ni nani.
Yeah.
Baka nimesema nikitoka hapa naenda googling. Na ukweli, in fact, I need to fuel when I get in case I refund pesa yake. But you're getting. I don't know this person. It was sent from a bank. And this may be someone who knows a friend to a friend, but so my status. You're getting. So I understand not every man will walk around to give woman money, but there are men. Mine was a joke. It's even on my go to my
No, I
Facebook.
believe
you.
Yes.
I hear you.
So what
I
I'm
hear
trying to
you.
don't assume that every man who's asking for money is wants something in return.
I think
There's a question you
if
asked
I'm
Emmanuel.
hearing what Emmanuel is saying well, and maybe Emmanuel, if I hope I'm not so much off the mark. KARIGOH.
Yeah.
What I'm struggling with is you've sent me money. What is happening in my mind as a woman who's received, say, like in Barbara's case,
Yeah.
20,000 shillings?
Yeah.
She said after here she'll go and Google and try and find out who sent the money. It never occurs in a woman's mind that
That-
hopefully this is attached to an expectation.
Personally,
good question.
I as a woman, I would not care. Personally. Mimi nimepata pesa yangu.
I didn't ask you.
Nimeomoka. Life
Pesa yako
goes on.
aje?
Aya,
Siko
so
kwa
you
simu
sent me,
yake
it's on
on.
my- it's on my phone. It's not your money. It's not my money. I
So
didn't
you
ask
don't
for it,
care,
you
but
sent it.
there could be an expectation out there in the
That's
atmosphere.
your own problem, mister.
Emmanuel, it's
That has
different
nothing
if
to
I
do with
borrowed
me.
it.
Yeah.
It's different if I borrowed it. It's different if
even
I
if
asked
I
you,
did
babe,
borrow
please
it,
help me.
Even if you did
Even
borrow
if
it?
I did
Fuela.
borrow it, even if I did ask for it, and I have said I will refund it, there still should not be with the expectation
No,
of.
if you said you refund, that's
No,
okay.
refunding is you'll refund. She's saying
But-
expectation of sex.
But even if, okay, say for example, it's not borrowing. Say for example, I come and I say, yo, Ebu, give me money, I need to buy a phone. Then you give me money and I buy a phone. See, life goes on. Ama, now you want sex in return.
No, but I
No,
just,
but
Ama, what's
I just
You're
no
shocking my brothers.
what I'm
See,
wondering
I asked
is
for money. You gave it to me.
Asked why.
And I
But
bought
the
a
why
phone.
did you
And
ask
now
for
life
money?
goes on. Which principle
the
is
principles
that?
of getting money, the way the world has been
Where
set.
This is not work.
Money is gotten after you do something. Like I
Oh,
come
so
here.
you want to go and
I
toil
come
and
here.
pl- and
I
and
come
mine on
here.
this girl?
I come. No, I'm not saying. I'm just trying to explain expectations. I come here. I work for 1 month, and then I send my. The company knows that I've worked. Then I qualify to get the
Yes.
money. So now, how have you now just qualified
But you
to get
see-
this money without any
But you're the one who's
expectation?
given it
Emmanuel,
to
you
me.
had the option of saying no.
Yeah, exactly.
You had the option of
No,
telling
it's
her, I
also
don't
an
have the
answer.
money.
No, it's also an
Yes,
answer.
so when you send it, you sent it on your own free
You know,
will.
one thing I never understand is
So
that when
meaning
a
there's an
woman says
expectation.
yes, when somebody says yes, a woman says yes, the man doesn't ask Ati, so why have you said yes? Anakubali.
But when you
say
say no, it is an
it's
issue.
an issue. And yet you have two options. I've asked you for money to buy a food. Your options are yes or no.
Or be the stingy person.
But do you guys appreciate? Do you guys appreciate that you are coming to ask me for money to buy a phone? I would have at the back of my mind as a human being some form of maybe she's come to me because she trusts me. 2, she likes me.
Or
3,
because
we
she knows you have money.
well, maybe because
Yes.
I have money.
Please, that should be
But,
number one on the list.
because she knows I have money.
Yes.
Especially
But-
if you
Because
live
I'm
in
not
Nairobi.
going to go and
But-
ask a broke man for money.
I'm
I
asking
mean,
my-
guys,
No, but think about it.
Allah.
Yes, you've come and asked me. 'Cause
I know
I
you
have
have
money.
money, so I'm
So
asking
you
you for
said the
money.
first thing is I have money.
Yes.
Yes.
As you're taking my money to go buy your phone, do you think it's so far-fetched of me to even propose a dinner date and want to try and
you
get
want to
lucky?
feed
No,
me?
Or
there's
just-
nothing wrong.
You want to
can-
feed
can
me?
do
It's
that.
okay.
Yeah.
See, I'll eat. You see, you're hungry.
I'll go.
And I have a new phone. Life is for the living.
You know when a country is going to get money, all right? When a country, say Kenya, wants money from China, you have to define what money you want. So you go to China and say, like our president did the other day, he said, this time I don't want a loan, I want a grant.
Yeah.
Sasa akaambiwa sisi hatukupei grant. You remember the last time he traveled?
yeah.
Or you go and say, I want a loan. So meaning money has to be defined. Is this a grant? Is this a loan? And so you can't just go and say, by the way, I need a road. And then they just give you
Because
money to
you
come
have
and get a
money.
road.
Emmanuel, I like the way you've defined it.
How?
And look at it this way. I need you to school your brothers on that.
Kindly.
When the ladies ask, Emmanuel, I want 20,000, then you as the man can ask, for what?
Yes.
Are you returning it?
Yes.
Those are the questions you need to ask.
Yes.
Some of you are not asking those questions.
Yes.
So you're coming to ask the lady when you've given her, KARIGOH asked you for money for a phone. She wanted 40,000. You gave her 40,000. You did not question it.
Okay,
She
can
told
we
you,
go
by
back
the
to
way,
KARIGOH?
Just a moment,
And by the
Eric.
way, if-
Yes, you did not question it. So you're trying to say work done. You didn't ask those questions then. And she bought a phone. You had the option of saying no. You had
Yes.
the option of being in the Stingy Man Association to say, not now, wacha niangalie, nita consider. You had all those options. You
also
never did that.
And also, after you gave me the chums, you had the option of saying, now need to me
Yeah.
receipt.
to prove
So
that.
many options.
Yes,
But
to
you
see
know-
if genuinely she bought
Exactly.
a phone or she's playing around with you.
Exactly.
Men don't ask questions.
They don't. They
and why
just
they
give.
land in trouble.
And then they come complaining after 2-3 weeks.
Wamegongwa.
Msichana alinidanganya, she manipulated. And you had the option.
You were
Umepewa
not
options.
conned. You were just slow.
Yeah. Or maybe you were too...
Excited.
Yeah.
Yes.
You guys
Let's
are
continue. Let's move on about from money. Let's move on from Mount Money.
Ama, you've never experienced a babe like this ever before.
Let me tell you, the only person you can ask those questions, Emmanuel, about work down and what this is your wife.
Yes.
That is why it's one big bedroom. Your
But
bed,
Eric-
the one who is at home, you can ask. Your girlfriend, the one who is giving you goodies and services you extra, you cannot ask that. Because even her, she knows she has bonga points. That is why they take advantage of this particular. They will ask for things and not even quantify them because they know I give you what you don't get at home.
Eric,
Exactly.
how come, say, if I'm hanging out with you, I remember when I met your friend Kiongozi. Eric has a friend called Kiongozi. So now I come, I hang out with you. Then you say, but this is a buddy of mine called Kiongozi who's coming through. And then we hang out with Kiongozi. We start talking kidogo, you know, we become buddies. Like, then a couple of days later, I'm like, hey, but Kiongozi, I need a phone. Can you hook me up with 20,000 shillings to give me to buy a phone? Like you, who has introduced me to Kiongozi, would you find that normal? Like how normal is it to go to a random person and ask them for money. Like, how do you qualify? What are the qualifications? Isn't there supposed to be a relationship? Would you not be upset? You're like, why did you go to Kiongozi and ask him for money? You don't even know him. How do you want him to give you that money? So how is it normal for a lady just to come to a random guy who he doesn't know?
Karigoh
She's testing the waters.
And say, I
She's
need
testing
you
the
to give me
waters.
100,000.
Karigoh qualified it by saying that you have the money is qualification
knows.
enough.
No.
Yeah.
So I can go look for Elon Musk right now and ask,
You
I'm
could
building
try it. You never
a
know.
wall in Kitengela. I'm like,
I got
Elon
lucky
Musk.
today. I got lucky today.
I
No,
read.
let me tell you something. Her experience
But
happens
I was
like
shocked.
every freaking day, every second, every moment. There are niggas who will give you money, 100K.
I don't ask.
But
I
what do
don't
they want?
care.
I don't think those guys are saints.
Oh.
You think those guys are saints?
First
If
of
you-
all,
if you're
I want
mean,
to
there are
make
men who
one-
are
Hey,
jealous
you
of
guys
her.
are
let's
so
have
I
some
feel like
fun.
they're ignoring Eric the fact that these men are not saints.
No, there's a question you missed out.
Karigoh.
There's a question you asked Eric. I want us to go back to it. And you asked Karigoh, you didn't answer it. Eric asked, what is this theory that men think women, when they sleep out or they have affairs or they are sleeping, it's like they have to fall in love with you or be in love with you. You remember that?
He
person?
said that for apparently, when a woman is having sex with a man, she has to love him.
No, they don't.
No, that's the perception.
That's the perception that
not
many
mine.
men, and they
it's
think
belief.
Those men are foolish. Those men who think like that are very foolish. Yeah. Please educate them. Let them know that the way men have sex without emotions,
Yeah.
babes do it as well. And that's why it's easy for a woman to step out and you'll not catch her
Yeah.
than for a nigga. Men, they don't know how to lie. They don't know how to be safe. They don't know, they that's why I keep saying about competition. They don't know how, they don't know what they want. They want everything, For a babe, it's where she's enjoying it and getting it good. It doesn't have to have anything with emotions. Zero.
And that's
But
why you find wives cheating.
are women no longer
Many
emotional?
That's why many wives are cheating in Nairobi.
Are they-
Wives. Mainly. Oh my gosh. Kwanza last year. Ooh.
So do they have
Many.
no emotional bond with the person they're cheating with?
Let me tell you, it is so possible because you just need to keep yourself in check. We're not saying that they're not human beings. They're not robots. However, they know what they want.
Yeah.
They have they have emotional maturity. They are intentional.
Their emotional intelligence
Exactly.
has upgraded.
Oh my
it's no
gosh,
longer the
it's
way it
so
used to
much.
be.
Remember, they are married, and they are probably like dead bored in their marriage, but they are just there because.
So if they're
for
dead
obvious
bored, are they
reasons.
trying to fill that gap by going to connect emotionally with someone else?
We did not talk about emotions. We're here saying that they're looking for their bodies to be.
So emotional is out. There's no
Yeah,
emotion. It's just
there's-
body.
Emmanuel, when we come back, I want to share something about that and in detail as to how the woman's mind works. Because men actually feel sometimes you're deceived that you
Sana.
think we cheat because we're in love with this person. No, we can be in love with you as my husband. You provide everything, but I want to hang out with Eric because he satisfies and scratches other areas.
Yes.
We are hanging out with Karigoh, who has an amazing podcast called Unprovoked. And what she's decided to do this Friday is just to come and hang out with the adults and share her mind about conversations as it pertains to sex. We welcome you to share your views on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at SpiceFMKE. That is our social media handle on all three. Please remember #AdultsKE. We also have an SMS short code 40127. Even a question to Karigoh is more than welcome. In about 14 minutes, I'll open the phone lines. The number you're calling is 0719-012-600. If you have a question that is burning, you want to ask a lady, and there are two, together with the Duchess of Ikolomani, hit us up. Good evening. It's exactly 14 minutes to 9 o'clock. A warm welcome if you just joined in. Let's enjoy some Adele, Rolling in the Deep. We are the adults in the room. What a wonderful way to just wind down the week. Friday like never before. My name is Eric. I'm hanging out with the Duchess of Ikolomani alongside Emmanuel Kisiangani, and we have a guest today, Karigoh, who is a host on Unprovoked, a podcast where she speaks very freely there. Sometimes she invites friends over and they just have a chat uncut. And it's very raw conversations about issues pertaining sex and women's sexuality and all of that stuff. Karigoh, I was asking you at the top end there,
Yeah.
about a conversation I listened to. you had your girlfriends and they were vast in different age groups and categories, and you guys were discussing whether or not size does matter. What was the conclusion?
But see, you said you listened.
No, I did, but see, I
Tell us.
wanted to share.
Not listening.
No.
Tell us the conclusion you heard.
I've been thinking about, it's been asked here whether it's ever so massive as it pertains to men's size. And every time we have a sexologist on the show, we make a habit to ask. And there are very varied views. Somebody once said it doesn't matter. Another person says it does matter. And I just wanted to hear what you have to say.
Okay. There's nothing as bad as a guy who has such a good package and then they know what to do with it. And then you have a guy who has such a package that's not, what you're kind of like used to. And then it's so good. So I think it's just connection, really.
Yeah. So size does not matter.
I mean, if it's a good size, it's a good size.
You've said,
it's not a good size, it's not a good size. But you work with what you have.
You've said that it's sad when a guy has a nice package, but he doesn't know how to use it.
Yeah.
So what does that look like?
Oh my gosh.
Is it a massive
it's
piece
like-
of equipment, or is it just a tiny little scratchy
It's
thing?
like massive. It's like good size. But he just doesn't know what to do with it. It's just there. Yeah. So
How about if
unfortunate.
if it's not?
It's just,
What-
baby, honestly, that I'm saying it, it's just there.
Yeah.
Iko tu hapo. Today my phone is just there.
If the guy has that nice not a nice package like you've described,
Yeah.
but he has other skills.
Yeah.
His hands, his lips can
yeah,
do
his
things.
tongue,
Would it make up for the size?
That's why I said, it's just connection, preference, what you like, what works for you as a woman. And if it's big and it's good and there are skills that have nothing to do with him and it's now his own body skills, his hands, his tongue, even better. Why not? But it has to be connection between the two. I mean, a guy can be so attractive. He's so good looking. He smells so good. He has so much money. And then he's just there.
His game is lousy.
Hey, it's just there.
Do you
Like,
think
you're
that-
like, what the hell?
Do you
What's
think
going on?
Do you think they're spending so much time on the looks et al, so they're not educating?
Let
They
me
don't
say
have time to
something.
educate themselves on
I was
how
ha-
to use the tool.
I was having a conversation with a friend of mine on the way here. And he said one thing to me. He said, by the way, KARIGOH, I've come to understand one thing. All women want is to be listened to. I said, if you listen to her with what you have, oh my gosh,
You know how to work it.
whatever, even if it's how, it doesn't matter. It will work. And she will be happy. And she will not be in the Nairobi's one big bedroom committee.
She won't be a member.
No, she won't be a member.
Hey, Barbara, I think I'm good at listening.
So you think. Gentlemen, I don't know if we've addressed this issue, but when we went on a break, I had said I'll address something that I just wanted to chime in and add on what KARIGOH was saying. I feel as a person and as a woman, we have reached a stage where women learned from the best and improved on how the game was. When I say this is this is how I mean it. Women learned. If, for example, I'm married to Eric, I know Eric's mannerisms, I know what he likes, and how certain things need to be done in the bedroom. So, but I have reached a point where I feel our relationship or sexual relationship is stagnant or is boring. So I've decided to get tempted out here, and I'm going to indulge with Emmanuel. Now, for Eric not to find out, why she was saying it's easier for a woman to cheat and sometimes you'll not find out, is because one, you guys, when it comes to having intercourse, it's all about releasing an ejaculation. And if you find the right woman, you can end up doing that so often. At some point, you have nothing to give out.
Yes.
The flip side on us is, if someone is strapping, there's nothing you're releasing.
Yeah.
It's all about. So I could fake it with Eric, or I could still even not fake it with Eric. I had an orgasm, but when I go with Emmanuel, there's nothing. I'm not releasing any juices that are going to get finished.
Yeah.
Unlike you guys.
Yeah.
So you see, we're now strike one where we have an added advantage. So it is this woman's emotional intelligence
Yes.
to know that when I behave with Eric, I need to make certain sounds or tweak like this. But when I am with Emmanuel prefers me arcing. Emmanuel is more of the arc guy. So let me give the arc guy. This is what has given women an upper hand, some of them, not all, some of them, because they have decided to study their partners. So they have decided, that's why she's talking about the options, and all the options are working.
Oh, yeah. All of them.
Home is working, she's comfortable, but Emmanuel has this, she takes me to another level that is different from what I get at home. That is where you feel that women, and then I could have another John. John just takes care of me financially.
Yes.
You're getting? That is why
Yes.
you find Nairobi girls, the young ones, not even the married ones, now the young ones, they are told have 5 or 3 boyfriends to do X, Y, leap a rent, do this. It is taken as a joke, but they have mastered the art of this. And unfortunately, why it is called per person sharing, you remember per person sharing? Eric is my husband, but KARIGOH satisfies him in another angle also.
Yeah.
Hata pia yeye akona his own. And KARIGOH, despite satisfying Eric where I do not feel, has Emmanuel, the boyfriend, who does something else,
Yes.
and has John, who does something
Yes.
else. That is why it ends up becoming a one big bedroom. It's a cycle. And the people who actually make it the biggest cycle are the women.
Oh, yeah.
More so than the men.
Oh, yeah.
If you think about it.
Let me agree with her. There's a babe who sent me a DM last year, and she said, I'm a married woman, and I love my hubby. But I have a guy on the side who's married, and I love him, even him. And it works. It's not been working for 4 years. The husband
also
does
answers-
not know. I was like, what? The husband does not know. He's never sensed. He's never felt.
She doesn't go for those funny trips. She's
Zero.
always home on time because these things
Yes.
are done during lunch hour.
Oh yeah. Ama sometimes like in her work she travels around the country. So they have a meeting point because the guy she is with on the side, he lives out of Nairobi. So it's convenient, it works. And it works and it's fine. And let me tell you, she has never been busted. Her husband has never smelled, sniffed, had an idea.
Do you think
Zero.
he will someday, maybe?
No.
Women take care of themselves. They've learned
Nope.
that. Initially, they used to be caught because of that.
Yeah.
No,
But
yeah,
nope
ini-
would
Yeah,
nope would be a bit of
Let me tell you why women are not.
it is
Otherwise-
it's very hard to just say nope. The
It
guy
is
will
yes,
be
not
busted.
hard. I
It's
can
not.
say authoritatively no.
Yeah.
Because
But
I've-
people are busted
I've been
daily
reading.
in this town.
Who is who are
People
those
are even
being busted? The men or the
they
women?
die into being busted.
The men or the
Who is
women?
dying by the who is dying?
Huh?
It's you guys dying.
It's the men,
Yeah,
not the
women
women.
that's what I'm
dying.
saying. You can't say no. Someone
Let me
would
tell you
Aya.
why I'm saying no.
Like, what are
For
the odds of that?
Let me tell you why I'm saying no. And those
And
who are
then
being
KARIGOH,
bastards,
you'll
because
tell
you're
us
being
why you're
reckless.
saying no.
Yeah.
Let me tell you why you'll say no. Women have mastered the art that after I finish with Eric, there are certain gels, there are certain things they are using
Yeah.
to botch themselves.
Yeah.
So they will not be wet. So by
Oh,
the
it's
time
elaborate.
It's
It's an
elaborate.
elaborate,
It's not, if you've decided to go this path of per person sharing or you're having other people, women have taken it a notch higher. That's what I was telling you. Women have studied it. We learned from you guys, but we have mastered and polished the game.
We listened and watched
And
very
watched the
carefully.
mistakes you guys made. And
We
the
were just
mistakes young
silent,
other
but we
women
were
made.
watching. Yeah.
So right now there's some things they insert. They look like tampons that soaks up any wetness or what. So by the time I go back home or to Emmanuel thinks she has been waiting for me and she's dry. I
Yeah.
need to. You start afresh.
That's quite an
You will
elaborate,
not find
way
her.
to cheat,
Unlike you people, some of you are being busted with
Because
condoms.
you've gone limp, maybe.
Yes, you're limping. You cannot
No,
perform.
you're as in you.
Some of them these
You're
days.
dry.
Kwanza, you know what some of these married guys do these days when they leave their clandestines home? Oh my God, are you ready?
Yes.
They
Tell
even
them.
now use sanitizer.
Yes.
Haya, bora ninuke sanitizer.
So that you don't
Period.
smell.
Yeah.
And Eric gave us a tip some few months ago. He told us men are buying the same soaps that they're having in their house,
Yes.
the same perfumes,
Yes.
and carrying them.
So women will start carrying that too.
They already do in their cars, in
We-
their handbags.
We are
Let's
the
talk
adults
about
in the
if
room.
it's a now cheating competition when you come back.
We are the adults in the room. We are hanging out with KARIGOH, who is a host with Unprovoked, a podcast she does really, really well. You want to check it out. She'll talk to us about that as we go along. Listen, we are picking your phone calls. I've opened the phone lines now. The number you're calling is 0719-012-600. We are discussing sex in the city, especially if you live in an urban area. Even in the rural areas, I think it's pretty much the same. I'll want to hear your mind about that as we go along, whether it's the same experiences in the city and say Kiambu, and if you went to Muranga or if you went to Kisumu or Siaya, if it's the same, city dwellers are having a road deal. All that conversation is proceeding all the way until 10 o'clock. Listen, for all of your time until now, thank you so much. It's exactly 9 p.m. Good evening. Indeed, 94.4 is Spice FM in Nairobi and all of its environs. If you're in Wangige, all the way in Ruai, or you are in Galana area, I hope somebody is not chasing and trying to shoot you, or you're just on Agwins Kodek running up that hill going to Lavington, 94.4 will serve you just right. Remember, we are the first radio to come alive in a visual format. www.spicefm.co.ke is our handle. No, it's not. It's our website at Spice FM. KE is our handle, both on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Remember, we have 40127, which is our SMS short code, all just for you to share your thoughts about the conversation we're having today. If you're joining us just now, we're joined by KARIGOH, who is a host. She has a podcast called Unprovoked. And today she decided to just, give us our time and hang out with us and share our mind about issues as it pertains to sex in this city and the city you are listening in from. Barbara, are you learning anything on Twitter?
Yes, I am. Leonana ladies in the studio are proving and certifying that gold digging is happening out here. Mary Elliott says, first car Suzuki Swift was bought by a man. He never asked for anything in return. Baka, I asked him in bed with me. I wanted him to go to bed with me. Alikata. Alisema, that was a present. I think that answers the question when you're asking the men who actually do. You see, the lady
but she was offering some bad things.
She was even scared. She was like, "Do you want to date me?" She was like, the man was like, "It's a present."
It was an
so
abnormality.
it is, yes. The message I'm trying to put across, Emmanuel, there are people who just genuinely have good hearts. There are people who have the money or the financial resources. They can do certain things.
Kind men.
Yes.
Kind
No,
men.
I'm just saying that.
No, I hear you.
Well, yes. Well, I'm also not. I get where you're coming from when you say some women do take advantage of that, and I understand. Yes, women take advantage of men.
Oh, in
terms of
money.
asking for that. That is granted. It happens. But you as the man have the right to say no and need to learn to say no or ask questions. That is where men have not normalized it. Secondly, we are in a world, it's a man eat man society, Manuel. I'm sorry I'm saying that. But we're in a society where people are trying to gain. And some of us are very selfish. So in our selfishness, I might want to manipulate you or move forward. But granted, the issue, back to what we were talking about when we talk about is Nairobi one big bedroom, is the problem of it being one big bedroom. I feel it's lack of communication from partners and lack of satisfaction. It's not about issues of being happy. Happy is relative. I think just before you joined us, I was saying people get into relationships because of money, happiness, satisfactions, among other things. So find out what is making you stray in your relationship. Then try and work on that. We are not working on that. You see the example she gave?
Oh, yeah.
A woman says, I am happy in her marriage. But if you actually found out she's happy with the status she's in,
Yeah.
but she's not happy with the sexual satisfaction in that, and that is why she's straying. And vice versa, it is happening to men. So right now, it's just that women are coming out more, and unfortunately, we are speaking about it, but many people know it's men who do it, but also women are doing it, but it's not being spoken about.
Emmanuel, there's something. Oh, sorry, you want to read something?
No. This Kenzi Simio amenichekesha hapa. Anasema, hey, basi life ni hard. Niko kwa stool sasa nasikiza.
KARIGOH amevunja roho.
Amevunja kwa stool.
Amevunja roho ya huyo jamaa. KARIGOH unaona na break boy child's hearts.
So Tired Kenyan says money is a legal tender exchange for goods or services. Whatever goods or services that may be is determined by those in the transaction. It is moneyless to ask for money for free. Learn to live within your means. If it's for hair, chop it off if you can't afford it.
Huyo ako na makasiriko
Hii
juu
mwaka
labda hana
tutaki-
pesa.
Hii mwaka itaki makasiriko. Just, yeah.
Joanna,
Makasiriko.
there's something we were
Please.
discussing before we went on a break, before we picked the phone calls. And Barbara, you reacted. I was waiting for KARIGOH to react. What was the question? There's something I'm losing
No,
my
Barbara
chain
was
of
talking
thought.
about cheating.
No, she was saying why women do what again?
Why we?
She's saying it's hard to even be busted. It started.
Oh,
from-
yes.
Yeah.
Was that the same thing I wanted you to react on?
Yeah,
Yes,
he
that's
was,
the question
she
we
was,
took it
yeah,
back.
she was saying about how women have developed new ways.
Yeah.
Wakienda home there,
Yeah, yeah.
etc. And I was saying, I said, nope, a woman can't be busted.
Yes,
It
yes.
was
yes.
about
Oh yes,
the
yes,
DM
I remember that.
received,
Yes,
the,
yes,
the married lady.
yes, and you're saying with
Yeah.
you're saying vehemently that there's no way a
Hata
guy
waishikwa.
can find her out.
No, why?
Why-
She's
why are you
reckless
so
at
sure?
Ashikwa.
She won't be caught because she knows what she wants. She's intentional. Number one, she has her marriage. She's okay with it. If she was not okay with it, she would have left it. So she's fine. However, she's also enjoying it with another man, and it's working.
So where does karma come to play? Because karma.
What is karma?
What is karma?
What is
There's-
karma? Why is that? Why does
I
karma
know people
happen?
who have been cheating for 10 years and karma
Why,
has not
no,
come
chill. Why
caught
does
up with them.
karma
No,
come in
sometimes
when
it
it's
catches
a
up
woman?
even when you're dead.
When
No,
it's a
it's
woman,
no,
but
it's
when
even
it's
a
a man,
Even men are caught up by karma. Like you're dead, you're in the grave, no one knew, and then someone just comes with a baby. You're like,
I was
no
I
one
was-
knew.
life goes on.
Life goes on.
Life
How-
goes
How
on.
come karma didn't catch this man when he was alive?
No, but life
it waited for him to
going
die.
on doesn't mean like then correct it. You see,
I mean-
life going on then correct it. There'll be people who'll be hurt. There'll be people who'll be like, hey, I didn't know this about this person who I've been with all my life, and kume the other side family over there.
But
so
he
life
is
does
God.
not go
So-
on.
so-
normally.
so you know,
the woman
Karigo-
is suffering. The man who is supposed to be hit by karma is dead.
Yeah.
6
Karigo.
feet under.
Karigo, I'm enjoying this conversation because it's busting the bubble that a lot of guys live in, that a woman can't even think about cheating unless she's unhappy.
Oh my God.
Unaona? Most
Hey, hey.
so it's busting that bubble.
See,
So-
we already agreed that a woman doesn't have to be emotionally
Attached
invested
to you.
for her to enjoy orgasms with you. Have we established that? I think that takes care of everything else.
Yeah.
Eric,
Honestly.
You see how
Eric,
you guys men
watch
used to be selfish when they cheat? Women have also now mastered that.
Yeah, but then can I tell you something?
fact,
You know
so
the way
thank you for saying
you know the way a guy would have sex with different women
Yeah.
in 1 week
Or in a day.
or
yeah.
in a day. Oh my gosh, you can't compare it with what a woman is capable of doing.
Jesus.
And you will not even know. Kwa mwanaume utaona, you'll sense, you know. For a woman, you'll have dinner with her that evening, and that time she's come like 2 hours ago from somebody else, and before that somebody else, and life goes on.
If she's
But does
reckless,
that-
you will catch her.
If she's reckless,
Eric.
but it's very unlikely. It's quite unlikely.
Emmanuel looks quite upset.
No, I just want to.
That shocked my
Eric,
brother.
Eric,
This is one big
This
bedroom.
is what happens, by
Eric,
the
let's
way.
have a conversation. Just me and you for a
Why?
So,
Excluding us,
Eric,
my
you've
darling.
read quite a bit about ladies.
Yeah. Yeah.
In your reading, because you know Eric has been my buddy from back in the day. He used to give us his
So
stories
now
about
we are
ladies.
relying on his reading.
So, yes.
Okay, go ahead.
So, Eric, is a lady an emotional being, number one? All right. And then, number two, do you think what has happened is, and I'm not justifying men cheating, all right? Do you think what has happened is, even if you take what Barbara said, she was saying the women have studied and seen what men are doing, and now they're doing it better. So, do you think women, because me, I have this, I'm leaning towards them being emotional beings. So they've put down their normal nature, like the way they are supposed, the way they normally are,
Whoa.
and now taken up a nature which is different in the spirit of competing with this man, trying to outdo him in what he's doing. So you find a woman saying, no, even him, he did this, even me, I'm going to do this, but they're not naturally prone to do such things. So from your wide reading,
Who said?
have you ever, do you agree with me that women are emotional beings? And do you also think that there's a tinge of now cheating competition? So yes, what KARIGOH is describing happens, but there's one person that this woman is emotionally attached to, but these other people are just to show this guy that even me, I can do it.
It's very interesting, and I'm glad you're having this conversation. I am tempted to say the following. I don't know, so I cannot speak on the behalf of women, but I'm tempted to say that women are not homogeneous, all right? That what KARIGOH is able to do is very particular and specific to her, Okay, so what I'm careful to do in this conversation is to be very careful to come off of it thinking that every woman has the capacity and the ability to do what Barbara can do, what KARIGOH can do, and what Judy can do. I sense that even as we're having this conversation, there's a woman who is not quite given to having slept with somebody 2 hours and having dinner
That
with
is
another.
true.
Yeah.
Right? But another woman can very easily come on board and have 4 sexual sessions and just be okay. So
vice versa to men.
so I think that is important that we say. Also, I am leaning towards thinking that life is not as grim as we make it. All right. I really am a perpetual, my friends accuse me of being a perpetual optimist, but I think that people are nicer than we make them out to be. I think people are nicer than we make them out to be. Also, one of the things I would want us to touch on as we go along, KARIGOH, is this thing being done to one-up the man, or is it being done out of the need to satisfy a particular need that this particular woman has? Like, is a woman taking her pass in the morning saying, I'm going to quench my thirsts by meeting my 4 boyfriends today? Or is she maybe trying to get back at someone who did her dirty, you think?
Maybe it's just opportunities that have come up and she's going with the flow. Yeah. I mean, there are different scenarios, just like you said.
Yeah.
Women are different, you know. What works for me can't work for her, vice versa. However, I'll keep saying that a woman must know what she wants. And when she knows what she wants, she will get it. And it will satisfy her and she'll be happy. And life goes on, period.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Emmanuel, I liked the part that you were saying women are emotional beings. And yes, we're emotional beings and we are more emotional than men. And from this being emotional being, and I like, yesterday you were reading something from someone called Tim, a scientist.
Yes.
And you remember I was making fun that men are a bit slower than men. It was just a joke. But if you think about it, the idea of us studying, when I say women study their partners, their friends, their colleagues emotionally, it's just not for sexual needs, for other things. You get to know. You remember when Eric says women can enter the room and read the mood?
Yeah.
This is what has happened. Granted, and you're right, not men and women are not homogeneous. And not all men are cheating. Let's make that fact.
Just
If your
like not
spouse is
all
cheating,
women
is
are cheating, yeah.
Yes, it is just that in the city of Nairobi, there has been a very bad trend that has been noticed. People don't speak about it. You will go to a function and I'm there with my husband. And then my husband sees the side piece KARIGOH with the boyfriend. And in his head, he's been thinking KARIGOH has no other person.
Yeah.
That is what has been happening. And that is why it has brought up conversation. Now, we are in an era where, I don't know if it's millennials or it's an era where women have decided to speak about their sexuality. And this, just even last year, we've been bringing ladies to the show and having conversation of women speaking about their sexuality and what they want, what they feel. Now, this is what has brought the need or the growth of this. So we've only been hearing about polygamous men who cheat.
Yeah.
Now, it is strange, and I can understand where, Emmanuel, you're coming from. That is why you're feeling some type of way, about you imagining that a woman can actually do this.
No, I know women
yes,
do
you
it.
know,
I'm
but
just talking about the justification around
there is
it.
no,
But
the
what-
idea of revenge, granted, there's the aspect of revenge. There are people who cheat because of revenge, and there are just people who cheat it's because of boredom.
Yeah.
There's another, what is her name? Will Smith's wife.
Jada
Pickett.
Yeah.
Do you remember her reasons for cheating? And we had that conversation here. To be very honest, they were not valid. As in, they could not hold water. Let's just be honest. Honestly, she just stepped out and it was wrong what she did. But those are the reasons why some people are doing this. So this idea of men sitting back on their high horses and always thinking a woman can only cheat
if she's in love with another man.
A woman can only cheat if she's unhappy, if she's revenge. Please, let's stop that. There's a breed of women out here who are open about their sexuality. They will shoot their shot. Barbara here might not be open enough to tell Eric, I want to go out with you. You look nice. But KARIGOH might be able to do that. And there are many liberal women, both young and old, that are coming out of their cocoons. And unfortunately, they come out of their cocoons in their different ways. So just try and put the balance. The same way we need to, someone was saying today, I had, that we have this habit of judging people who drink in public, but we do not judge those who fornicate in secret.
Yeah.
We forget that. There are a lot of people who are doing that.
Yeah.
So let's not be so quick to have an opinion for
Yeah.
that. It is a choice. Cheating is a choice. At the end of the day.
And
Go
also
ahead, go ahead.
society has given this narrative of women should not speak about sex and women should not step out of their relationships. It's only men who should do it. And you've given reasons of a woman must be in love. You said women are emotional beings. I mean, listen, when we began the conversation, when we began the show, I said women enjoy sex and women love sex and women want good sex. So what is wrong with them seeking for it, going for it, asking for it, demanding for it? What is wrong?
Yeah,
Shida iko wapi?
and asking
Agree,
for a
agree.
phone.
Wako na kauchungu.
Shida iko
asking for a
wapi?
phone
And if I
without
ask
it.
you for sex and you say, baby, do you want a phone? And you give me a
No,
phone.
no, no. Tukae na ile ya kwanza.
Eric, hapo sasa unamchafua roho.
Tukae na ile ya kwanza ya umeitisha simu lakini hautaki sex. We are the adults in the room. A very good evening to you. Just 15 minutes past 9 o'clock. We're hanging out with KARIGOH all the way until 10 o'clock. Listen, when we back, we are picking your phone calls all the way until 10 o'clock. You have a question for her? She's ready. She's going to answer. Just make sure you switch off your radio so that all of us here can hear you properly. 0719 012 600. Good evening. You know that the club was about to be closed when you heard this song, Maxi Priest, Wild World. Every time I had it when in my clubbing days, I would just start waking my friend up and tell him tunaenda home. Manuel, did you go to the club and start swatching up of Imeja on the couches?
No, not that long. I remember I just
Because you
used to
could go home.
used to look at the guys blowing with a lot of matamani.
Matamanio.
Wow.
Cheki, why can't I ever be part of this, guys?
There's one time my flatmate and I had our house locked. We didn't make rent. So we went to the club na tulikuwa na usingizi mzito. People go people go to the clubs for different reasons. Some people go to party. Mi nilienda kutuna.
Ulienda kutuna wa club.
Under a roof.
So bana, there's a bouncer who came and gave me the biggest slap on my chest. Cheki nime sema watu waache kulala hapa.
Na ulienda kutuna club wewe.
Sasa nikatoka kujikuna hapo kwa nje na upepo at around 4 o'clock. Sasa Maxi Priest huwa
You are there for shelter.
That's a difference.
Yeah, so if you are listening to Maxi Priest, and I used to look at guys sipping on their beers with a lot of wonder. Cheki, yani amenunua bia anakunywa huyu jamaa. We are the adults.
Cheki na amenunua tatu at once.
Not tattoo, just buying random chicks. Cheki unabaia madem bale.
Na wajui.
Unaona hiyo story ilianza kitambo.
Ona.
My goodness me. Oh, wow. We are the adults in the room, 22 minutes past 9 o'clock. Thank you so much for joining us. Ona, if you're new to the program or you just joined in, we're joined by KARIGOH. KARIGOH is a host on a podcast called Unprovoked, and she was very gracious today. She accorded us some of our time, and we're discussing everything sex, especially sex in the city.
Yes.
All right, and Barbara has been saying it really well about Nairobi being a very big bedroom, so that you think you are with your own, and your own has another own who has another own, and before you know it, it's a web.
Tuna
So
share, as
you
Ben
have
Sol says.
yes, you have cousins hapa ndani. There's a song I heard at the gym saying ati nipigie mayai nishibe vipoa alafu sijui ni deal na wewe hapa Nairobi. I think that guy. Do you know that
Huyo
song?
anafaa kuimba ile Nairobi.
So ati
Wewe
apigiwe mayai.
unanipea, mi nakupea, tuna share na unapea mtu mwingine.
Absolutely.
Haitaki makasiriko.
Haitaki makasiriko.
Mimi nazalia, hakuna kitu kama hiyo. Kweli tu, deep down. me I'll
KARIGOH
cry.
KARIGOH is
I
an
don't
advocate
want to
for kutokasirika ukipatiwa hizo mavitu. 0719-012-600. You can call in and share your thoughts about the conversation or even ask a question. All is permissible and welcome. Please make sure you've switched off your radio when you're calling so that we don't have feedback. Spice, good evening.
Hey guys,
Hi Steve, how are you?
very well, and you?
Very well, thank you for calling, my brother. How is your Friday coming?
Coming along well, enjoy myself, yes?
Fantastic stuff. What are your thoughts, my brother?
Very well. First of all, greetings to Barbara, of course you, Eric, Emmanuel, and the guests there.
Hi, Steve.
Been a while since we last spoke.
Steve,
Yes,
thank you
it's
so
been a
much
minute.
for calling, man.
Yeah.
I know when you call, it's normally a very important thing that you're about to say.
You guys have smoked me out. I was quietly listening until you brought KARIGOH.
Yes.
Very well. Now, two things come to my mind. One, definitions, and two, context.
Yeah.
I was grappling with those two things. Are you talking about women who are specifically in marriage, or women across age groups? So that I know where I'm going to place my opinion. I have had snippets of women in marriage feeling bored or getting to a point where they want a little excitement. So is that the demographic we're talking about here?
It's a mix. The same
Okay.
way, they could be married. Some are married and some are single,
Yes.
or some are just out here dating. And instead of dating one man, they are dating two people, and vice versa. Even the gentlemen, instead of having one woman, they have two or three.
In that case, then I get you. You see, if we now go into context, I think it's important for us to understand that these things are not new.
Yeah.
I think if my history serves me right, this is a trend that in the 19th century, around the 1850s,
Yeah.
when we had what we now call the age of romanticism. Prior to that, it was well known that a man, for instance, could have one woman with whom he's going to procreate. Another one is going to be his concubine. Another one is going to be his confidant. So he has different things, and his needs are met by different women.
Yes.
It was not until we came into the age of romanticism where we now see one woman is going to be married to one man, and one man is going to marry one woman. So that now what the man previously got from a community of women, he was now going to expect from one.
Yeah.
So that this one woman is going to be my lifetime sexual partner, is going to be my confidant, is going to be the mother of all my children, is going to be the one who knows all my secrets. And it's an experiment. How well it is doing, how well it is going to do,
It's debatable.
I think it's a ball that is still up there in the air. But if I was to fall back to my own personal experience,
Yeah.
in relation to the conversation today, I think it depends on where the woman really is, at what point she is in her life. Of course, I could be totally misinformed. I'm a bit in shock, like Emmanuel there. From what I've seen,
Yeah.
generally, let's say between the age of 18 and 25,
Yeah.
college years and whatnot, girls are pretty much carefree. They mingle, they have different boyfriends and whatnot. But again, look at between the ages of 26 and 24, around when they are now looking, for those who are looking to get into a committed relationship,
Yeah.
so they kind of narrow down. And any invitation for coffee or any likelihood of emotional engagement is viewed with seriousness because she is looking at the possibility of getting married by 27, 28 and whatnot.
Yeah.
Beyond the age of 35, if she is not married, then perhaps the dating pool, of course, the dynamics have changed and she is not seeing any likelihood of that happening. She goes back into the carefree status she was in while she was in college. So that now she's getting very bold, and I can tell you, personally, as a man of 37 years, I see women beyond the age of 35 get really bold with me, telling me things that they would not tell me 10 years ago.
Yes.
They ask you out, they want to buy you coffee, they want to pay the bill. I find that traumatizing, but they get really bold as they get older.
Yeah.
And so it turns out that they make decisions that we women of our mother's generation could not. I think part of that as well is the technology we have access to.
Yeah.
Look at the case of a mobile phone and the apps we have like WhatsApp. A mobile phone has become like a box of members. I don't want to use the D word.
Yeah.
A woman simply has to scroll, and she can say one thing to 10 different people.
Yeah.
And on a scale of 1 to 10, she will get the response she wants from 1 or 2 or 3 people. It has become as easy as that. But be that as it may, if I was to compare one person that decides to go into a committed relationship, and one person that decides to be promiscuous or to have multiple partners, it is not obvious to me that the person who has multiple partners is demonstrably happier.
The person who has multiple partners is the most probably happier. That is Steve going on there. We are having a conversation with you and picking up phone calls around sex. Pole tumepoteza Steve. What do you think about what Steve has said, Karigo? Wewe ndio mgeni.
Hey, amesema vitu mingi, but I agree with him. Women, as they grow older, they become more bold. They know what they want. I mean, hey, we are living in a society. We're in 2021, first and foremost. So technology, social media, people are reading more. People are more informed. There's so much information that I have today. I did not have 10 years ago. Back to what I initially said, women know what they want. So the older you become, the more aware you are, the more confident you are, the more intentional you are, and you go for what you want. There's nothing wrong with that. He said that it traumatizes him, but he needs to go with the flow. It's no longer a man's world. It's our world. We are in it. Men
Together.
and women together. Yes.
For me, I liked he said this goes back in time in history.
Yeah.
It used to happen. It didn't start now.
It's always been there.
Always been there. But the flip side was it was the man who had multiple partners.
Exactly.
And it's not that I am propagating that. I'm just trying to say that it is happening to some women. It is happening to some men. Not all men cheat, by the way. Don't get me wrong. But we also need to understand that as women have become bolder, she's saying, some of them, their needs have changed. They might be off than what you are used to. But I find it very hard that men are okay. That if it's a man doing it, it's fine. But if it's a woman, you want to throw a stone. Those are double standards. Time has changed.
And I feel so. I mean, when I think about a man, okay, I'm not a man. Clearly.
I'm not talking about the married women.
I'm talking about generally. When I would want to believe that men want women who know what they want. Who will come and say, I want you to touch me like this. I want you to do this like that. Instead of me having to go out of
the matrimony or the relationship.
Yeah, because we also have to address one thing. Y'all niggas don't listen. And I said that. Men don't listen. If you listened more, maybe, just maybe, that Nairobi big bedroom.
But what about men? What about the men? Why do they cheat? You see, them
they cheat because they want to. And they have the because they want to. Number one, they want to. Number two, they are greedy. They are
and
selfish.
Women cheat because
you're not listening.
Alrighty, let's pick some phone calls.
I wanted to say something, Eric. KARIGOH, you've said what is wrong with women wanting sex, right? And you've said, and I clarified earlier, I said that even men, like these things that we are talking about, even men are not, there is no qualification to now begin cheating, all right? But we can look at the actions that we are, the things that we are doing, and look ahead using reading. Like you can read a book and read about someone who's done these things, and then you learn some of the consequences of those actions. Like I'm reading a book by, it's called Undisputed, Mike Tyson. So Mike Tyson says that he just lived a full life back in the day of just having sex with women. Like he had sex with women more than he thinks anyone alive. But if you read his book, he'll say he feels that he wasted a lot of time. Number one, he got into so many lawsuits, and then he was always feeling lost. Right? So yes, there is, the freedom, like, now we can do what everyone else is doing. But what are now the consequences? Because I feel like right now in this age, we're living in a life where, in an age where people just want to do anything, but no one is sharing anything about the consequences.
We'll talk about that some more. Let's pick some phone calls. 0719012600. Liam, how are you?
I'm very fine.
Thank you for calling.
Premium tears.
Yes, Premium Tears, darling. How have you been?
I've been good.
What are your thoughts today?
We've looked at all the angles, but I think we're just forgetting or missing one.
Tell me.
What if people engage in those many partners maybe because they are addicted to sex.
Yes.
Then it begs to differ the point that they are good at it, or maybe you don't know how to do it well.
You're right.
Yeah, that's an interesting
Yeah.
perspective. So maybe addiction is another factor to
Yeah,
look at.
it's a mental illness.
That might be another factor.
Yes.
Alrighty, fair enough. Thank you so much, Liam. We are picking your phone calls. Keep calling 0719-012-600. Spice, good evening.
Hello, Eric.
Yes, sir. How are you?
I'm very fine. I'm Felix Kosgei.
Felix Kosgei, karibu sana. Bado uko Eldoret?
Yeah, I'm calling from Eldoret.
Fantastic. Salamia Barbara na mgeni na Emmanuel.
I'm greeting everybody in the building.
Asante
Hi.
sana. What are your thoughts, sir?
My thoughts are these. First, I would wish to say what you are saying, what you guys are saying in the studio is practical and it is applicable. Number two, I would wish to criticize the ladies by saying that it is time they give the feedback.
It's time they gave feedback.
Yeah, it's very shameful for a person to solicit some money from people and then at the end of the day they say they have money, yet I am a Mjengo person. So in my view, is that if you don't want this person, refund the amount.
Or if you don't want the person, you return the amount.
Yeah, there is no need of... And then...
Yes.
Felix, what if you didn't ask for it?
Yes?
What if you didn't ask for it?
If you didn't ask...
Yes, someone has gifted you like a present.
Can I tell you something, Papa?
Yes. There's no free thing. Yes, I know that. Despite
No,
that.
let him tell him. Yes, endelea.
Some 2 hours ago,
Yes.
I met with a lady we were schooling some 10 years ago.
Yes.
And then she was telling me, how are you, Felix? And then after 5 minutes, okay, assist me with 2,000 shillings.
But that one is conning you, my dear.
I think it is time ladies should style up. They have reduced themselves as beggars. Yeah.
Felix, do you know how to say no?
Felix is hurt.
Men need to learn to say no.
Why are they asking him for money?
Just say no. I don't know why it's so hard for men to say.
Why
Is
give
it-
him that
But
very hard task?
also on the flip side,
But here's the
Barbara,
point,
on
yeah.
the flip side, I think what Felix is also alluding to is why are you asking for money? You.
Yes, no, that I get. That I honestly get. And that I'm saying that one, someone could be connish or manipulating you. But if you've not asked, and if you're asking to repay, it's different. And I do understand there are ladies who ask in a manner to suggest that, hey, as Steve said, they scroll their phones. They look at, maybe I need 3,000 shillings. I'll ask 10 people and see how it goes. You see, now that one is an off behavior.
Yeah.
But there are
But
those-
being
yes.
sent for free, no, that's not even in the conversation. I mean, somebody can send you money.
Yes.
People do that all the time. We are not even discussing that. I think his bone of contention is somebody who's asking and then you are giving with a hope, which is what I was trying to allude to earlier, that maybe I'm just giving and then the next time I'm hungry and I need somebody to exercise with at night, I could call this person.
'Cause you
who
gave
has-
So
me
that is
money.
good. That is then go and solicit for sex on where it is. You know that you'll pay and you'll be given.
Yeah.
Aya,
Simple.
tuendelee na simu. Spice, good evening.
Good evening, Eric. How are you doing?
Very well, sir. Thank you for calling. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Edwin Onyanga.
Onya?
Say hi to Barbara, KARIGOH, and Emmanuel.
Yeah, what's up, brother?
Hi.
Thank you for calling.
Yeah,
Wha-
today I want to talk of two things.
Yes.
I'm not agreeing with Barbara and KARIGOH.
Acceptable.
I am 100% with Emmanuel. Barbara seems to be following Steve.
Barbara seems to.
And Steve, it seems to be, you've been following Steve, the show of Steve somebody. If you
Oh,
follow that show,
which show?
I mean, Steve Harvey, somewhere conversation.
Think like a
Steve
man.
Harvey.
Oh, I seem to have
Yeah.
read the book of Think Like a Man.
Yeah. You see, Barbara, there's a place you didn't read well.
School me,
Steve
darling.
Steve says, first and foremost, he says there will never be a friendship between a man and a woman.
A friendship.
And if it happens to be, the man is only waiting to slide in there's no way a man can give you money without anything in return. Yes.
There's
he'll
a
give
lady
you
I've
today,
read.
He'll give you tomorrow. He'll give you tomorrow, he'll give you every day, but there's a day he'll come for it. Those ladies telling you that I was given for free, those are lying. Number one. Number
Could it
two,
be that there are men who actually just give people gifts? There's a lady who said she
No.
was bought a car. She
Yeah.
commented.
No strings.
a woman cannot ask you for something, Hakuna, and a man cannot give you money for some of your t-shirt. I can't, for instance, Baba, you can't ask me for money.
Yeah, I can't ask you because I already can sense the demeanor that you have.
Yeah.
Tuendelee. And what is the second thing, sir?
I'm not beginning. The second thing is that we men, Eric, you know this thing. You read this book, Men Are From Deep. I don't know, women are from Mars.
Yeah.
We are polygamists. We are born polygamists. Men are born polygamists.
Yeah.
We guys, we produce millions of sons. Barbara and Kirigo, they only produce once in a month. So we are destined to have women as partners. Even if you give a man whatever, he will still cheat.
They are saying now they have more eggs.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
so see,
We
we're
did
just
say
marking,
that,
That's not what
we're just marking a territory. See, Barbara, we're marking our territory.
Market.
Oh my goodness me. Thank you so much. Sasa.
Huyu ameanza vizuri ya karibu hapo mbele.
Anti-polygamous. But Emmanuel, that is how you people start. You start well, but you don't finish well. The thing is, we need
Or they
to
don't finish at all.
The thing is, Emmanuel, well, there are people who are philanthropic and there are people who are not. There are people who are in the Stingy Men Association. There are people who are not. There are men who can give you money and not expect anything in return. And granted, there are men who believe if I give you something, if I take you to school, if I give you even 5 shillings, I am entitled to something.
Yeah.
Not everyone is like, even ladies, not everyone is like that. We need to understand. Remember when we said both men and women are not homogeneous? That is how it is.
Yeah.
So if you have a son or a daughter, they're living and going to school. So along the way towards school, they can just receive random gifts from strangers.
But that's
on
not
the
what
way to
we are
school.
That's not
saying,
what you're
guys.
talking
No, it's the
about,
same
and that is
concept.
what
It's the same
No,
concept.
no.
This guy,
No, don't-
Eric,
don't
I am
be
walking
shallow
towards
about it,
town.
Emmanuel.
No.
I am a toy walking towards town. Some
this is not
random
a
man
child.
gives
This
me
is not
$1,000.
a
First
child.
of
First of
all,
all,
this
this
is
is
money.
adults. We are adults.
We're adults.
Yes.
Order.
We're talking
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
adults,
Yeah.
full
No, but
grown
it's the same
human
concept.
beings.
You
Let's
just
have
want
some
to
order.
take the money.
Barbara.
This is the
That's
problem.
completely out
Like
of
me, I'm just
context.
giving this
Emmanuel.
child money.
Emmanuel, this is
No.
why we have a problem. Men are quantifying women like children.
Exactly.
Yes,
Hey.
you are just you've just
Barbara is a
qualified us as
politician.
children.
Aya, sasa sikia.
Hakuna kitu kama
Aya,
hiyo.
sikia.
We're
Let's.
talking about adults.
We've had
We're in
our
a
say.
context of adults,
There is
guys.
the
just
adult.
randomly
You're
receive
watching
money.
bibi zao ni
Barbara.
watoto.
Imagine.
Karigo, we have
Sorry,
the
sir.
adult who's not in the room who wants to have an opinion. Let's pick his phone call. Spice, good evening. Hello. Yes. Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. I'm Paul from Nyeri.
Karibu sana.
I think it is only in Kenya where women try to compete with men how to cheat.
Continue, Paul.
They're trying to keep up with the.
And Eric,
Yes, sir.
and next time if you have a guest there, make sure it's a man.
We already have 2 men. Yani mmeshindwa.
So women
No,
should not have
that-
opinions.
No, the kind of advice you're giving to young women. I think.
Paul, we are not
right
advising. We're just saying
We are
what is
sharing
happening.
opinions, yeah.
What is happening? That
Yeah,
is why the
listening,
conversation
yeah.
was, is Nairobi really one big bedroom? Sex and the city. We are saying what is happening. And yes, you are, and that even the previous caller says, in fact, not the previous caller, you have just said, it's only in Nairobi or in Kenya where women are trying to compete with men cheating. So you already know that men cheat.
Yeah.
You guys are okay
No.
with men
Yeah,
cheating.
it's so
But you have a
okay.
problem
let's hear
that
him.
women are cheating.
Let's hear him. Paul endelea.
And it's also bad, both of you are cheating.
Okay. You know what makes men to cheat are women. Okay.
What, sorry, say that again. What happens?
What makes men to cheat?
Women.
Women. If all women in Nairobi are be faithful, I think Nairobi will be the safest place in East Africa.
Asante sana, Paul. Karigo, Paul has reminded me something. In the last discourse, you said men cheat because they are greedy, but women cheat because men don't listen to them.
Eh.
How did you know men cheat? Because they are greedy?
See, because men are greedy by nature. You see, remember when the conversation began, I said it's like men are in competition with us. This caller has said women, only in Nairobi and Kenya, are women in competition with cheating men. Who will cheat more? So we already established men are cheating. But now we've come to an understanding that also women are cheating.
But it's a problem.
Why?
So can women cheat because they are greedy? Can women cheat because they are greedy?
Honestly, women... Okay. Whew.
I think yes.
It's a very small percentage. Very small. Tiny.
Eric, you ignore this, but wachana na watoto Barbara. You're an 18-year-old student.
Yes.
You have a daughter.
Yeah.
She's an 18-year-old student, or even a son. Yeah. You go visit them in their, in their room up in Campo Apo box. Yeah. Their room is furnished. It has a telly, like this one, carpet, microwave over there. And then you're like, hey, how did you get all this stuff? Then I'm like, no, this guy just gave me this stuff willingly. Like, would you be like,
No.
Umekata.
Oh,
no. So would you just be like, would that be a normal thing? Would you be like, no, this guy gave you these things from his own volition. Hey, good for you. Go, girl. Get more of these things.
That is Emmanuel there. He's quite unsettled. We are in the studio with KARIGOH and Barbara. My name is Eric. We're the adults in the room. The conversation is getting heated and we are picking your phone calls. 0719-012-600. Emmanuel, when you come back, we can take a moment and just opine on what you've had to share. But for now, best part, Daniel Caesar and her. Enjoy. She's a June baby, just like guess who? Just like me. June babies are amazing, Barbara. Na hata hujawahi nikumbatia vizuri. Birthday zangu zote napataga unatoroka, unaenda live. Unahesabu. Alafu unajua unasikia birthday yake ni lini? Unaenda. Hii mwaka tukiwa na wewe hapa.
Mwaka tutakuwa pamoja kaka.
Ukitoroka nitakushika.
Do a big thing for your 41 year this year.
Emmanuel ananizoesha.
Why are you guys laughing while winking?
Emmanuel, happy 56.
We are so proud of you.
We are proud of you as a Zach that you are. A very good evening to you. We are the adults in the room. It comprises of you, yes, you, Barbara, the Duchess of Ikolomani, myself, Eric, and Emmanuel Kisi Angani. Today we have KARIGOH, who is a host on a podcast called Unprovoked. And she was very kind. She came and just decided that Friday she's spending it with the adults. And we've been having some very good conversation. And right now, we are right at the smack of picking your phone calls. And we want to really hear what you've got to say about the conversation. I'm sure you're listening. The number you're calling is 0719-012-600. Please make sure you've switched off your radio. So when I pick, we don't hear... Cindy, Spice, good evening.
Hello, Eric.
Yes, sir. How are you?
Please reduce the volume of your radio or your gadget. We'd like to hear you better.
Absolutely.
It was off there.
Yeah, Spice, good evening.
We'd like to hear you better.
We wanna watch Rambo.
Terminator.
Why did I get married? There's a Schwarzenegger movie. Was it called I Do? Or where he turns and becomes a robot on one side. What is that called?
It's Terminator.
Terminator, is it? True. Interesting. Yeah. Spice, good evening. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
We are now watch Sister Act. Spice, good evening.
Spice, good evening.
Yes, hi, how are you?
Very fine.
Very well, thank you for calling. What's your name and where are you calling from, sir?
My name is Joshua.
Joshua, karibu sana.
I'm calling from Eldoret.
Joshua from Eldoret, thank you for your time. What are your thoughts about the conversation?
I think people are not being realistic.
Yeah.
When I give a lady money, deep in her mind, she should know I have brothers, I have sisters, I have a mother, a father, a lot of very close and important people I could have given my money. So nobody would take that just as a gesture of kindness. It is a plan. Maybe I'm laying the ground.
Yeah.
So tomorrow I'll be more friendly and expect I demand something as a return on investment.
They should expect, according to Joshua, that that's a return on investment which can come into some squeeze.
ROI.
Lazima perform. Spice, good evening. Huyo ako na ndugu. Anaulizwa swali ya kijibu. Cheki unasikia hiyo mambo, cheki. Nimesikia.
It is 8 minutes to curfew. So he's dashing home.
Oh my goodness. You know, there's always a meme on Twitter. People joke about how you answer the nduthi guy without understanding what they've said.
Yes.
So you just say, ni kitu mbaya sana hiyo ya
Because he's talking to you and there's so much wind.
So you just have to be courteous.
I think that guy was doing that. Cheki, wamesema hivyo ni kabisa. Spice, good evening.
Good evening.
How are you, sir?
Fine, thank you.
Very well, thank you for calling. What's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm Mike from Nakuru.
Karibu sana, Mike.
Yeah, thank you very much.
What are your thoughts about the conversation, sir? Oh, shame. So Mike is gone with the wind. Spice, good evening.
Good evening.
How are you, my brother?
I'm fine.
Thank you for calling. What's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm Bernard from Oyugi.
Bernard from Wangige, karibu sana. Mawazo yako leo ni gani?
Oyugi is not Wangige.
Oh, Oyugis.
Yes, the one that you used to call there.
All right. What are your thoughts about the conversation, sir?
They don't want to contribute. They just want to say hi to Spice people.
Oh, that's very kind of you. Thank you so much. All the way from Oyugis with love. Spice, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Please switch off your radio, sir.
Yes.
Yo. Fred.
Hey.
Karibu.
Hello.
Yes, Fred. Welcome. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts today are to the ladies.
Yeah.
If you know you people you spend your entire life borrowing money from people, from men.
Yeah.
Why don't you go to the bank and let the bank lend you the money?
The bank will want
You
it back.
because you won't tell me that is the lifestyle that you have chosen.
Juma, the bank will want the money back.
Yes, the moment you ask that man for money, expect that man will want something in return. Now let me give you a very small story of Kisumu.
Huyo Juma amesema nataka kupatiana story ya Kisumu na muende kwa bank, hataki hiyo mchezo wenu.
Tuenda kwa bank.
Mbona wako na uchungu?
Aki watu wana uchungu ni kani pesa yao.
Gosh.
Mnaona mmetoa conversation kwa Koitas mkaeka kwa bank. Bedroom. From the bedroom.
Situation need to come and report people.
Wow.
The men who don't complain.
Like all those calls, all they've done is talk about
about
money, nothing else.
and drift away. A few of them have talked about the conversation, but clearly
Kwani pesa inawauma
From the
aje?
bedroom to the bank.
tutaenda
Nairobi is
bank.
one big bank.
I agree, Manon. Yes, Nairobi is
Nairobi has
one big
become a
bank.
bank. Or Nairobi.
Unaniletea na kuletea.
Yes.
Or if you have some bank, you can get to the bedroom.
I'm a bed and banking.
In
Or
fact,
bed
that
and
should be
banking.
bed
I
and
think that's the
banking.
conclusion
That should
of
be
the
the
conversation.
conversation.
Bed and banking.
Check
Yeah.
your checkbook, bank,
Because
bed.
Eric wants you. If I
Yes.
give you, you need to give it back. So
Bas.
bed and banking.
Or borrow without consequences.
That's nice, Emmanuel.
Barbara, what is your final mind to the conversation?
I would say there was a time men used to be the ones who bring the bacon, but nowadays women are bringing the bacon and also the steak. Things have changed. Let's be open-minded. I'm not saying be open-minded about cheating. Don't get me wrong. We need to understand that the things that men used to do, women can also do in all fields, be it money, banking, sex, and that. I'm not saying you will still remain the superior, what they call superior being, not or you're the kings of our houses. But when it comes to issues of us being in one big bedroom, we need to resolve the issues in our bedrooms, in our relationships, so that you avoid these issues of cheating. And don't be blindsided and think that women don't cheat. Don't be blindsided and stick to the notion of, hey, men are polygamous. No. Work on your relationship to avoid this issue of one big bedroom.
Thank you, Barbara. Karigo, I cannot thank you enough for finding time to hang out with us. Somebody has heard you and they want to follow your work. Where do they find you?
On SoundCloud and Anchor. I'm on all social media platforms. just Google Unprovoked. UNPRAW. Please, emphasis. Unprovoked is RAW, raw, VOKED. If you just Google Unprovoked, utanipata kila mahali.
What would you say as your final take-out point that a guy should sleep thinking about and knowing that enyewe Karigoh ameniambia? What is your final mind about what we've been discussing?
I would just listen to your women. You'll avoid a lot of things. Yeah. And if you feel like you're not willing to listen to her, maybe there is someone listening to her. Okay, ukijua roho safi.
Yeah.
Usipompea mtu atampea.
Yeah, like nobody has time to. We lived through a pandemic.
Yeah.
Do I have time to wait and convince you, Anganga? Unisikizi? Next. We move on swiftly.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Remember, women know what they want. They're not confused anymore. They're not figuring it out.
That's
We know.
That's Karigoh for you. We can't thank you enough. Thank you so very much.
You're
I
welcome.
hope we can have more conversations. It was very interesting. Emmanuel, even as you're telling us what's happening on Monday from 6 and 3 o'clock, what is your final mind of the conversation?
No, I've just had fun. It was a provoking conversation, which means Karigoh's done her job. On Monday, the Situation Room are going to be here at 6 a.m. sharp, all the way till 10. The three very, very, brilliant people are going to be here. Ndu Oko, Siti Muga, and Eric Latif. And then at 3, the Honey Voice, Monique will be back for another drive session. She'll be taking you home from 3 all the way till 7. Then by God's grace, we'll be back at 7 for another provoking session.
And on the weekend, we are not leaving people high and dry, are we?
No. The Sunday cruise is happening with the legend who turned 50 and is actually celebrating today. DJ Pinye, happy birthday to you.
Wow.
And DJ Nijo, they're going to be here with Point Blank Evumbi for a very, very dope show on Sunday.
You want to cut that up. You don't need to be bored at home because we have curfew. Spice in a curfew. Also, you can record yourself and just send it to us. We see how you are unwinding over the weekend. Now, on my own behalf, Eric Omondi, and on behalf of Barbara Mbaka, Emmanuel Kisiangani, it's a team effort, as I always say, from our super duper general manager, Tom Japani, who oversees Spice, Vibes, and also Radio Maisha, all the way to our super duper PC, very ably does his job there, Brian Obara, and Jules, who's been holding fort as steady as only she can. A very good evening to you. It's exactly 10 p.m. Good night.